Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you a very nice KSG gameplay on the map Arkaden in a regular 6v6 domination. Now, this gameplay and this gameplay commentary are going to be following on from the commentaries I've uploaded in the last couple of weeks, where I've been talking about how to play the maps in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 properly in domination, because you see a lot of people playing domination and having literally no idea, either treating it like an extended team deathmatch or just camping, and it's not about that at all. It's all about managing spawns, controlling the objectives, and if you do that effectively, you'll do a lot better than if you just charge around. But before I get into any of the gameplay commentary, I just want to talk a little bit about what class I'm using. And I'm using the KSG with the foregrip. I'm using Recon, Hardline and Steady Aim as my 3 perks, and for my assault kill streaks I'm using UAV, Predator Missile and Attack Chopper. Now, this is a setup that I absolutely love to run when using a shotgun, because the entire point of using a shotgun is to be aggressive. You do not want to use a shotgun and play negatively or defensively, because there are a lot better weapons that do that. So you could run an assault rifle if you wanted to play defensively, or an LMG. The whole point of having a shotgun in your hands is to get in the enemy faces, get as close as possible, and hopefully blow them up. That's the entire point. So what I like to do when running a shotgun is run perks that complement that, and obviously the Recon Hardline combo is fantastic for when you're being aggressive, because if you want to storm into a room and you're not too sure where people are, you can get that flash around the corner, see exactly where they are, go around the corner and shoot them, just as like I did there, for example. So that is the reason why I run that. Obviously Steady Aim is brilliant on shotguns too, because shotguns do not benefit from any accuracy advantage when aiming down sights. You have better control over your precision with your aiming, but the spread remains the same. So you want to lessen that spread using Steady Aim, and you want to get into the habit of aiming just using the hip fire with a shotgun. So Steady Aim's a fantastic perk to do that with. Finally, my assault streaks. Like I was saying earlier, I'm using a UAV, Predator Missile and Attack Chopper. Now, because you've been so aggressive with a shotgun, the chances are you're going to run into a lot of people very early. Now, this can either go one or two ways. You can either kill them all of the time, or slightly more likely, you can run into a few enemies and they'll take you by surprise and take you down. And that's why I really enjoy running these sorts of kill streaks, because running the UAV and being aggressive with a shotgun really go hand in hand, because when you've got that UAV up, which is only 2 kills with Hardline, so it's very achievable when you're running it with Assault, you know where the enemy are. You can discover the patterns of spawning are much easier, so you can spend a lot less time running towards enemies and a lot more time fighting them, and that's really why I like to run the UAV. Now, because I'm running Assault, I want to run some kill streaks that enable me to get kills, and the Predator Missile and Attack Chopper are perfectly situated. They are really easy to get if you're having a good little run, and there's not too much risk. If you die on 6 kills, you haven't really missed out too much. The Attack Chopper's nice, but you're not going to be beating yourself up. However, if you run a shotgun and you get all the way to 10 kills or whatever, and you miss out on your pave low, that's going to hurt a lot more, because shotguns are very finicky. Sometimes you'll go on a 20 streak nice and easily, and then other times you'll die 4 times in a row and not have a chance, because the shotgun's range disadvantage can get you killed a lot. So this is a really nice balanced class. It's aggressive enough to ensure that you get enough gunfights, but it's safe enough and controlled enough to make sure that if things aren't quite going your way, you're still in with a great chance of maximising your potential. So that's why I like to run this class. But now, let's talk a little bit more about Arkaden. Now, Arkaden is a slightly unusual map in Modern Warfare 3, because the vast majority of the other maps that you play domination on, and the maps that I've been talking about so far, like Seatown and Mission, follow this rule, is in Arkaden, the objectives are sort of located in a triangle. So you've got A and C and B form a sort of triangle, an equilateral triangle. This is very unusual. The vast majority of Modern Warfare 3, and in fact Call of Duty maps in history, have a linear objective path. So what I mean by that is, you'll have A and C at the extremities of the map, and then you'll have a centrally located B objective where the majority of the fighting happens. Now, if you look at Mission and Seatown, which are the 2 maps I've talked about most recently, they follow that pattern. Mission is just the ultimate example of this as well. You've got a really competitive B objective, and then the other 2 objectives on the far extremities of the map. Arkaden, like I've been saying, is completely different. As you can see from just me running around, you've got the B dom objective located outside, you've got the A dom objective located right in front of me just to my left now, and you've got the C dom located downstairs to my right. Now these objectives are quite evenly spaced apart, and what that means is it's a lot more fluid than the most other maps that you'll get in Domination. The vast majority of other maps, what you'll see is you'll get one team set up on a BC or an AB combo, and it won't really move too much. You'll get the B objective change hands a couple of times, and then you'll get a couple of players who'll flank round the back and try and like flip the spawns by capturing the other external objective. In Arkaden, it's completely different. Now the ideal combo to set up on is the one we've got at the moment, which is the AB, because as you can see, the enemies are just continuously spawning behind me as I'm just mowing them down here very, very nicely. However, what makes Arkaden different to the vast majority of other Call of Duty maps is that it's very, very easy to move around the map. There are lots of routes out of pretty much every objective. For example, the C dom objective, there are many ways you can get out of that. The first way is obviously up the stairs to the left, as that RPG hits me right in the face. So you can go on the objective, up the stairs, through the little room on the left, and go straight towards A-dom. You can run downstairs, come up the stairs right in front of me here towards A-dom. You can run right towards B inside, or you can go far right through the inside path, and then outside towards the B objective. So that's 4 major routes out of one objective. Now, unless you've got a really good team, it's very, very difficult to control 4 exits to an objective. So what you tend to see in Arcade and Domination games is the objective changing hands very, very quickly and very, very swiftly. Now, this means you've got to be a lot more on the ball than you do in other maps, because when you're playing Mission or when you're playing Seatown, you know, the enemy are only going to really come from one direction. You're only going to have one objective, which is the main center ground of the battle. But in Arkaden, you've got to be really, really careful, because it's very, very easy for you to be sitting there nicely contained in a nice 2 domination hold. You're sitting there very, very comfortable, and all of a sudden you've lost 2 objectives and you're triple capped. And you sit there and you think, how is that possible? But because Arkaden is such a fluid map and there are so many ways to move around, it's very, very easy to quickly switch, flip the spawns, and put the enemy on the back foot. So you never really feel like you've won an Arkaden Domination until it is mathematically impossible for the other team to claw you back. So this means you've got to be a lot more alert. If possible, like I said earlier, you want to hold A-dom and B-dom, because those are the 2 outside objectives. So you can pretty much sit back there, nice and calm, hold the inside of the map around these stairs where I am now, and you're pretty much within an aid range of all the objectives, and it's nice and easy to defend. If you get trapped in C by a decent team, you're going to struggle to get out. But like you see here, you know, we were triple cap briefly there, because Arkaden is so fluid and so out of control. It's very, very difficult to really pin a team down. So that's my major tip for Arkaden. You know, you cannot just sit back and be content to hold 2 flags like you can in the other maps. You've got to be prepared to mix things up. So if you can see you're losing objectives, don't worry, just pile on another 3 objective. You want to make sure you hold 2 for as long as possible. It doesn't really matter which 2 they are, because even if you are on the C side, which is slightly worse, you still can get to B in about 5 seconds. It's not hard at all. And if you are under real pressure and you need to get to way to flip the spawn, there are 3 or 4 easy ways you can get to way. So it really does pay to keep your wits about you on this map. So if you are playing Arkaden, even with a team of quality players on your side, you need to be a little bit careful that you don't get swamped and turned around and triple capped, because many times I've been up in an Arkaden Domination game when playing with randomers and you look comfortable, then all of a sudden you get triple capped to that, just that 30 seconds, and the momentum shifts and you really do struggle to get back into the game sometimes. So, you know, that is my major tip. Keep your wits about you. Whatever happens, try and make sure you have at least 2 objectives under your control at all times. Doesn't really matter which ones, but if you can, choose which ones you've got, and if you've got a good enough team to hold them, the A and B combo are the ones for you. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed watching the comments. You know, it's been an interesting gameplay in the background, and I think this gameplay really does show the slightly changeable nature of Arkaden, because over the course of the game, we are in control and out of control of all of the objectives on the map, you know. So it's a really good example of how fluid this map is. So guys, once again, I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay, and have a great day.